We're going to share a story with you now that many people may not be aware of. Did you know that in many areas across the Heartland, there is a growing threat to farmers and ranchers from wild hogs? That's because these wild hogs can do some tremendous damage to farmland and crops.
Two more for the barrel.
Landowner Steve Celestine and state wildlife biologist Michael Perot are checking feral hog traps on Steve's Louisiana property. This time, the traps have captured 2 of the hogs, the latest in a long line of this destructive animal.
We caught close to 3,000 hogs in about a 2.5-year period, and I think we have stopped counting at 3,000, and we've probably caught another 700 or 800 since then.
Feral hogs are a growing problem facing farmers and ranchers in many parts of the country. Generally, once limited to the south and southeast, they can now be found in more than 3 dozen states, from California to Florida.
If you look right here, you'll see a lot of tracks leading out into the water.
Steve leases a good portion of his 3,000 acres to farmers raising soybeans. Packs of feral hogs can decimate a crop.
They're rooting up the crops. They actually will dig big holes in the ground and lay out in the crops at night. And when he comes with his harvester, he'll go to harvest the product, and it just tears up the equipment. And the hogs really like the germinated sprouts, and they'll get in there and just wipe everything out in the field. There's no way to stop that. We trap as much as we can, but there's no way to stop them from coming in the field.
Steve's property also supports a commercial deer hunting operation. That business has been impacted by the hogs too.
If we put feed out for the deer, what'll happen is it attracts the hogs, and the deer will not come to the feeder when the hogs are there.
Many states list feral hogs as predator animals. Louisiana has tens of thousands of the hogs. The state's neighbor, Texas, is home to an estimated 2 million.
I can sit out here and watch this field tonight and try to kill hogs that are trying to eat our corn, but we have 900 acres of corn. So I can only watch 4 or 5 acres a night. We can't protect all of our acres at one time. To me, the biggest problem is the numbers. You know, 1 or 2, 3 or 4 hogs is not too hard to control, but there's hundreds of them all over our farm.
Early explorers to the Americas let hogs run wild to be used as a food source. Their populations expanded and the animals became feral and fertile.
One sow becomes reproductively active when she's 7 or 8 months old. She can have a litter of 6 every time she has a litter. So in 5 years, one sow could have 1,000 descendants.
I can't imagine how hard this would be to control. Can you even?
It's hopefully we can maintain, that would kind of be the ultimate goal right now.
Louisiana officials say poison is not an option because of the dangers posed to other wildlife. The state allows landowners to hunt the animals on their own property, even at night, when the feral hogs are most active.
Now we can hunt them at night along with coyotes and beaver and nutria and armadillo with basically any weapon you want. As long as you contact your sheriff's department prior to doing so.
Louisiana and other states are anxious to control the hog population, since the animals can spread disease and have been implicated in attacks on livestock. But trapping them is a challenge.
Hogs are extremely intelligent, and they can become very trap weary over time. So, you always got to stay on your toes and maybe, target a specific age class rather, target the little ones rather than the old ones.
When we first started, it was nothing to catch, 200 and 300 pounders common all the time. And now when we catch them, they also know they can jump out the trap.
The hogs that are caught are destroyed. Even then, disposing of the dead hogs brings its own problems.
We don't have any way to get rid of them anymore. When we kill them, we throw them in the lake or in the river, and the alligators come. So now we got alligator problems all over the place because they're smelling the blood and they're coming to feed, and it's just a multiplying problem all the time.
Some wildlife experts think that total eradication is no longer possible. The numbers are just too great. That demands ongoing efforts by state and local officials to control populations in an effort to reduce the damage being done to agriculture.
Eradication, obviously, would be a dream, but I think all we can really do now is just do the best we can in managing the pig populations pretty much at where they're at, and not let them expand anymore.
They tear up equipment, they tear up the roads, they tear up everything.